Welcome, everyone, to the Best of Markham podcast, brought to you by me, Igor Klibanov from FitnessSolutionsPlus.ca, your personal trainers for chronic conditions. Here with me today is Dr. Ida Chung from Glow and Growth. Ida, thank you so much for being here. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me. I'm a doctoral level board certified behavior analyst, and I'm also a behavior analyst in Ontario. I am also a part-time professor at Durham College. I am the clinical director and the founder at Glow and Growth Autism Services.
Very, very exciting. How'd you get to be a behavior analyst and clinical director?
I guess that's a long story. So when I first started graduating from university, I was working at a daycare, and then I was, working with many different kids, and there were a few kids who were autistic, and I didn't really know, right? At that time, I had no idea what autism was or behavior analysis was, and I kind of just, were trying to play with them, trying to connect, but I couldn't. So I kind of just started, doing my own research and seeing what's there to do? Like, what could I do to connect better, to work better? And then I came across behavior analysis. Then I went to Seneca College for a postgraduate certificate on autism and behavioral science. After that, then I, built my interest and I really wanted to get into the field. So then I started my master degree in in applied disability studies. Then after that, I became a board certified behavior analyst in an international credential. Then I started working as a behavior analyst. Then, my education didn't really stop there. I really like studying. So then I started to get I began my PhD, and I just graduated earlier this year in my PhD in psychology with specialization in behavior analysis. And it's been a fun journey with all the studying. Now it's time to kind of focus on the work, focus more on kind of building my business and also working in the field, trying to help more people as well.
Awesome. Now, for those viewers and listeners who don't know, and me, what is a behavior analyst?
So we study behavior analysis. So what it does is a science of behavior. We kind of, analyze the behaviors and then we, by book, what it means is we predict and then we kind of control the behaviors. But when we say control, that's where people get, oh my God, you're controlling me. But it's not about that, right? It's really just, trying to break down the things that people do, the actions, the behaviors that people engage in, and then try to understand why you do certain things, why you go to work, why you eat, why you talk, right? And also I think the funny thing is every time when we talk about behaviors, people typically think that this is the negative behaviors, the screaming, the tantrums, right? Because it's a term where how people describe all those negative stuff, but it's not. When we talk about behaviors, we talk about anything that we can see another person doing. So by all means, it's all skill acquisition. Whether you're talking, you're sitting, nodding, you're staring at me. You're any of these things are a part of behaviors, and these are all the things that we actually work on and try to help people build.
Oh, fascinating. That sounds pretty broad and pretty applicable to a lot of things, but your specialty is autism.
Correct. Yes, there are. It is a very broad, principle. The principle can be applied to a lot of things, right? So there's sport stuff where athletes would actually use behavior analysis to work on how to get them to improve, right? To do better. And then there's also pets training, animal training.
Mhm.
Right, so the clicker training every time when a dog you ask the dog to sit, then you give the dog a treat. Those are behavior analysis as well. And there's also operational or business management, right? So when we operate a business, we try to see how we can maximize and then how we can make sure the staff is working well, the clientele and everything is going well as well. So it's very broad. It is
Okay,
definitely
lots of applications.
correct.
Now,
Yeah.
of course, you're not just a behavior analyst, you are a clinical director, you're an entrepreneur. So
Yeah.
from the entrepreneurship side of things, what made you decide to open up your own clinic as opposed to work as a behavior analyst for a company?
I worked in a couple of agency before and I liked it. It's really nice to work in an environment with people. I started off working in the field by myself. So I would do, all the program planning, all the assessment program planning and working with their kids directly. But then soon enough, like I found that, it's it's not enough, right? Like one person can't really do enough, do too much. So then I started to expand and start to hire more and train more people as well.
Mhm.
Um, it is very different in a sense, and I certainly love the clinical side of behavior analysis, where I actually get to work with the kids and use the principles. But of course, I also do it on a business level where I utilize behavior analysis for my staff and clients, and also business growth in general. It is I can't say I enjoy the admin part too much of it because again I didn't start off as an admin person. I started with clinical, but when I was able to kind of see those the admin side plus the behavior analysis, it gets a little bit easier, and then I became more passionate about. But if I have a choice, I always choose to do more of the clinical work with the actual individuals that I'm working with versus you know um the operational side.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that. When I first started out as a personal trainer like 19 years ago, all I wanted to do was personal train. Then I saw some holes in the way that I had personal training jobs, but I mean I liked it for the most part, but there were elements that I didn't like. Um, I wanted to train clients the way that I wanted to train them, not just the way my boss told me to train them. So that's why I started out my own practice, and I never thought about entrepreneurship. I just wanted the freedom to do things the way that I want to do them. Because again, my specialty is chronic conditions. Um, so that's what I wanted to do. The clients I wanted to see, the way I wanted to operate. I also wanted to combine exercise with nutrition, which was a big no-no for personal trainers. But I have a pretty good background in nutrition. So I wanted to combine the two. But once I opened up my own business, yes, I saw myself predominantly as a personal trainer. Although if all you do is personal training, you have a sinking business. So you also need marketing as well.
100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
And
why.
I think we're on the same boat. Yeah.
Oh
100%
yeah,
how I feel as well. Cause like, I could only do so much. And then at times where like there are a lot of things that I want to do it. It's not so much if I want to do it my way and it's only just me. It's so what I see, it's important for the field, for the people, but I want to be very individualized. I don't want to become, part of the system and everybody kind of do the same thing. I want to do something different but also effective and it's working for the clients,
yes.
right? And I think that's really important. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that's fulfilling to you.
And that's, I mean, only being an owner, then you can actually make those decisions and listen to the people and how they want it to be, or else, and like you said, like, it's whoever that's superior to you, then tell you what to do. You kind of just kind of have to do it that way, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's funny to me now that I started my business 15 years ago. Back then, I wanted nothing to do with marketing or sales. I just wanted to do personal training. I thought I'm a good personal trainer. Back at my previous job, I was I was breaking sales records. So I thought if I'm a good personal trainer, that's enough to get to run a business. Then I realized that's not enough.
Yeah.
You have to be a good personal trainer. You also have to be people need to know you're a good personal trainer, and that means marketing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's where I was at too, because like I wasn't into training other staff either. Like I was just, me doing my own thing. But at some point you can be like, okay, well, like I want to do it this way, but I want people to understand how to do it. Because again, one person I can only serve so many, right? Then I started hiring, and then I started doing more training on my own with the staff. Then now I'm doing more of the education where actually in the university and the college, and I do a lot of workshops as well because I want to kind of bring that out. I want to be the advocates. I want people the next generation to actually understand what behavior analysis is.
Yes, absolutely. And the way you described it sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
I know a little bit more about it. Um, now, what, in terms of as a clinic director, one of your most important duties is marketing. So what do you do for marketing? How do you get new clients?
So in terms of like I mean I probably wouldn't put it in marketing because a lot of times I do feel like this is a field where like I don't want to promote it. I promote behavior analysis. I
Yeah.
don't promote the business in that sense because I don't want to feel like I want your kids or I want any individuals to get into a service like that. And I always tell people what I want is I want to build independence. I want them to come and I want them to graduate.
Mhm.
I don't want people to always rely on what I do and what like rely on people being around to be independent to kind of be successful. Right? In terms of that, like I feel like for myself, I do more of the advocation, advocates where I would do a lot of workshops. I do a lot of training, parents training, and I just build a lot of resources for the field so then people who are interested in the field would then, get information from me or education from me. And then for the parents as well, a lot of our clients, for the most part, without any type of actual, marketing, it's word of mouth. Usually they're all referrals. Everybody here is, part of the referral. So it's great working that way because you know that people are only coming because they've heard something good about you. And
Yes,
that's
yes.
very important to me. Like I want to make a difference in people's life and the families and the kids. And when I look at them, I know that, they're liking it here not because, you know, someone's able to take care of their kids and, it's really that we are part of the family. We are actually, getting there and helping them for every single thing that they're trying to do. So I think that's important to me.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the referrals are the lifeblood of the business. The first
Yeah.
entrepreneur is find the first client, because that's not going to come from a referral. So how'd you get your very first clients to start the referral chain?
So when I was working back in the days with another company, I think there were other clients that are within that environment, not with the actual company, kind of saw me what I was doing, and they kind of just came up to me and asked me like, "Who you are? What are you doing?" And even within the daycare that I used to work with as well, like parents would just kind of reach out outside of the daycare as well and asked me like how did I connect with the kids so well and all these it's really just getting them to understand what I do by doing. Like they actually can see me, right? And then see me working with the kids, or even like I used to also do more home based, so community based. I would take, the autistic children outside, and then sometimes people would see that, and then they will ask me, oh, what do you do and stuff, right? And that's kind of how I started building I guess my own business or my own intervention in a sense where people are reaching out to me personally and hoping that, I can work with their kids as well.
Oh, that's awesome. So a live a live demonstration,
Yes, basically, yes,
the
yes,
best marketing tool.
yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are you working on right now that's exciting to you?
In next month, I'm actually going to a world conference. I'll be presenting, and that's exciting. Like that's my first time presenting in a world conference, and I think that's, it's scary. It's I'm nervous, but then at the same time, it's kind of cool because usually I would be the person who is sitting there listening to everybody, whatever that professional has to say. People who are popular in the field, new findings and research, and this time, I get to go on stage and kind of talk a little bit, and I think that's pretty exciting. That's scary stuff, but I think I really enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get you. In 2013, I did my first presentation at a global conference for personal trainers, and that time it was nerve-wracking. But I've been presenting almost every year since then. The first time was nerve-wracking. Every other time it's more exciting than
And
this.
yeah,
That's congratulations on that.
thank
Um,
you.
what obstacles have you encountered in your time, both as a behavior analyst and an entrepreneur?
Excuse me, sorry.
What obstacles have you encountered in your time
Oh,
as a behavior analyst and an entrepreneur?
um, I think balancing between the clinical recommendations and the staff preference and also the client's preference can be very difficult. I want to be, obviously, um, stand by, what I know, the principle of behavior analysis, but sometimes understanding the family, it can be very different and difficult as well, right?
Hmm.
The behavior analysis, the thing about behavior analysis is the application of it. The principles are there. The principles are never changing, but it depends on, who you're working with, who you see, what you see, then you apply it very differently. And that's what I like. I really like the most is because it's ever changing. It's challenging because you have to find all those principles that works for that learner that you're working with. And I think that's important. And that sometimes can be difficult because the message can be difficult coming across, and to the parents because that's not how they understand things sometimes. And then in terms of, staff as well, employees as well, that's can be difficult as well because, um, you know, the schedule can be something that they want differently, or the training or the people working with the kids can feel very differently, or overwhelm or burnout. Like those are things that we also need to consider as well. Back in the days when I was working on my own, like maybe I could be burned out, maybe I could be tired, but it's just me and me, right? I can handle it, and whatever that I want to do, it's easy. I just have to kind of talk to myself. Now you kind of have to talk to all the staff. You have to have policies. You have to have all these things to make sure it's fair, it's balancing for everybody. And then also the parents have to also understand that, and want to be here as well. That's difficult. Like sometimes that's really difficult, right? It's not, sometimes I feel like it's not about behavior analysis anymore. But then at the end of it, yes, it is still, because I can always apply those principles, whether it's on the business side of things, operational side of things, or on the staff, or on the clients, or on the parents, right? So
Yeah.
it's really just how my mentality has to change sometimes to kind of work around those things. And I still find that interesting, and I'm still learning.
Yeah, yeah. As an entrepreneur, you have to wear a bunch of different hats. Like you have to be the
Yeah.
technician, the behavior analyst. You also have to be the entrepreneur. You also have to be the public relations agent. There's a lot of different things you have to do. To
Yeah.
me, that's part of what's exciting about entrepreneurship. Because when I was just a personal trainer, the only thing I needed to worry about was getting results with my clients. As an entrepreneur, I also have to worry about sales and marketing, which to me, if you ask me when I was just starting my business, I wanted nothing to do with it. Now it's one of the favorite parts of my business. I love public speaking. I love writing articles and books, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, part of what's exciting about entrepreneurship is the different skills you kind of have to learn.
Yes, yeah. And like I think every day we're learning, and also the world is changing so much, right? So you kind of have to improve, you kind of have to change at the same time, or else then you kind of just, be stuck at where you started, right? And that's no good for anybody.
Yes, 100%. Yes, the world is changing. You have to adapt certain things, but it's also nice to know that there are certain principles out there that are never changing. Certain elements of my exercise programs are the same as when I first started. Certain things have evolved as I've learned more. Um, Same with marketing. I like marketing that's virtually unchanging. From, social media, internet changes quickly. I like stuff that changes almost never. For example, one of my most effective strategies is door-to-door sales, unchanged since the 1950s. I like email marketing. Email marketing's been the same since email came out in 1993. Social media, yeah, changes rapidly, so I don't like social media. Um, but
I don't either. It's difficult.
public speaking, I love public speaking, completely unchanged since like 2,000 years ago. Um, so yeah, some things evolve rapidly, and some things never change. And for stability and predictability in business, I also like to have the a mix of things that change, but like 10%, and to rely on things that are unchanged and will likely never change for like 90%.
It's great.
Yeah. Then what do you do in your free time?
I like to do puzzles. That's, I used to on, Saturday and Sunday, my office is, cleared and it's good. And I bring in my puzzles and kind of just sit there and get it all done. And right now, like I kind of stop for a little bit just because I have way too many all around my office and home. So
Yeah.
that, like I don't have enough space. But I love doing puzzles. And then I like to spend time with my daughter as well. Like she's
Well,
7. Yeah, so she asks a lot of questions now. She asks what I do, and she likes to come to my clinic as well and kind of just walk around and chill here. So we do that a lot.
is there an inkling of what she wants to do when she grows up?
Well, she always says she wants to be mommy, so
Uh,
I'll let her be. But right now, I think she really want to be a teacher. But she also see me as a teacher,
yeah.
because that's how I present. Because the whole behavior analysis thing, I understand for her age, so that I kind of just oh, I just teach people. So that's kind of what she wants to do, and yeah,
Okay. Maybe she'll be another behavior analyst one day.
yeah, that would be great.
And since this is, after all, a Best of Markham podcast, what's your favorite business in Markham besides your own?
I like to eat a lot, so restaurants definitely, but there are way too many. I like small cafes. There is a cafe called Corners Cafe, which is on highways. Yeah, that one is really good. It's across from Markfield Mall. They're pretty good. It's a large space where I could just kind of go in, and then I don't use my computer sometimes, even though, I'm trying to enjoy my food. Like I like to work at the same time as well. I do that a lot. That place is great. And there's another business called Scion Taekwondo. They're really, really nice, Taekwondo teachers, and we actually send a lot of our learners over there as well. They're very accommodating, and we even send our therapists there to support, our learners with autism to have Taekwondo classes there, and they're amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I go to a corner cafe once every 2, 3 months, and it's the same thing
Oh,
as you. A, I go for breakfast, and B, I bring my laptop to. I'm going to finish my breakfast and do some work there.
yeah, it's
They,
spacious and quiet too. It's nice.
especially their chicken and waffles, out of this world.
Oh, really? I haven't tried that. I like the pasta.
Their pasta's good, yeah. I mean, if I go for lunch or dinner, I'll get the pasta. But if I
Mm.
go for breakfast, I'll get the chicken and waffle. Out of this world. And yeah, Taekwondo is a lot of fun. I did martial arts for about 12 years. Um,
Oh,
unfortunately, my instructors moved from, well, Richmond Hill to Ottawa, so that was the
oh,
that. And
that
unfortunately,
was it.
find another club that's as good within a reasonable distance. But to this day, every 6 months or so, I Google martial arts club near me, like Taekwondo or karate.
Yeah,
Um, can't really find anything good. Like there's lots of clubs, but nothing meets my criteria. Gotta keep looking.
you
And
must be picky.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But it's good. Picky, it's good. You know what you want. You know your preference.
I mean, so what I want is nothing full contact. So that takes away Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, stuff like that. I also don't want grappling because I took 3 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes, got 3 injuries, and thought this is not for me. Um, The other thing I want is competition. I don't just want fitness. I can do that on my own, and I do that on my own. So I don't want fitness. I want competition. I want tournaments. And so I have there are clubs near me that do competition for kids or recreation for adults, but there's no competition for adults. So unfortunately, I gotta keep looking.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So strict criteria. My old club used to meet all those criteria, but currently there's nothing like that within a reasonable distance. Um, And lastly, how can our viewers and listeners get in touch with you?
They can email me at ida@glowandgrow.ca, or they can also visit our website at www.glowandgrowth.com.
That's awesome. And I'll have all those details in the show notes as well. Ida, thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.